Hey, welcome to the Trip and Stone Podcast, the podcast where two friends raise a glass and have a conversation. I'm Nick.
And I'm Kyle.
Indeed, you are Kyle.
Yes, sir.
And indeed, I am Nick.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Most days.
Most days. I was going to say, me too. Most days it works that way. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, it's going good.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we've been together.
It has. What's happened in the last, we haven't seen each other in 2 weeks.
Sure. Personally,
Yeah.
made it up to Alabama.
Oh.
Went up for a wedding. Had a great time. Was able to do some cool, fun things while I was up there.
Ooh.
Went up to
Anything you want to share?
Nearest Green Distillery.
Oh.
Gorgeous place.
Did you see our friend Fawn Weaver?
She was not present
Oh.
that I'm aware of.
You didn't text her and be like,
I
hey.
saw where her office was, so she might have just been in her office
should've
working
gone and knocked.
hard at work. Yeah, should have just went over and tapped on the window. Hey,
You know us from Instagram.
yeah, we're buddies. But no, like super cool distillery. This is my first distillery experience.
Really?
Yeah, haven't been to a distillery.
Wow.
That was the first one, so that was super cool.
And that's a good one to start on.
Yeah, I was like, I mean, it's a really cool going this early on in
Yeah.
their process, like where they're still. I mean, they've got a vision of what they
for
want to
sure.
see happen over there. So to see it now, where it's like at the beginning of that whole process, is
Right.
super cool.
See, what I love about distilleries and visiting distilleries, I mean, obviously tastings, but
Fantastic.
I feel like distilleries are, at least the ones that I've been to, and I've been to a fair share, they're somewhere in between like a brewery and a winery.
Right.
In that, like, wineries tend to have a lot of room. They're really spacious. They're in like really cool locations.
Right.
And I love, there's nothing better to me than like on vacation, going to a winery, grabbing a bottle of wine and just sitting in this like idyllic location.
Right.
Because most of them are like that.
Yeah.
Sure. There are
Cool
like,
overlook.
yeah, exactly.
Sitting back.
Mountainous or, out there in the boonies kind of thing.
Right.
I love it.
Sitting in an Adirondack chair,
Exactly.
living life.
Exactly. Breweries tend to be a little more industrial.
Right.
Which is not the case all the time, but breweries tend to be more in like warehouses and industrial spaces. And you get that vibe.
Right.
Like
Totally.
you're drinking
It's more insular.
Yeah. You're here for the beer. You're not for any,
Yeah. No grand experience
no.
on the other side
No
of
great
it.
experience at all. But a distillery is like kind of a blend of both.
Yeah, totally.
And
That's a good point.
A lot of the distilleries in Kentucky, especially because they're trying to be more visitor friendly,
Right.
They've kind of established that. So it's really nice to hear that they're also doing that in Tennessee too.
Yeah. I mean, the whole production is really relatively new. Like, I mean, I think they got started in 2016.
Yeah.
So for them to be like ramped up and to have had the success that they've had so quickly,
Right.
I think goes a whole lot to like they've got a really cool background.
Is it like a visitor facility and everything?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
Got they've got a restaurant on property that you can eat at.
Whoa.
They've got obviously like the welcome center. So like there's like the gift shop and everything in there.
Sure.
And then the tour. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing's super cool.
That's nice. And I feel like distilleries need that, especially
sure.
because distilleries are becoming a more crafted product, or distilled spirits tend to be a more crafted product now.
Right.
And people want that experience. They want to go to a place, they want to hang out, they want to sit around, try some drinks, that kind of thing.
And that's the unique thing, I think, of what they have is like they've got such a depth of history.
Right.
Not just with like the story of Nearest Green, but like the facility where they're putting their distillery was an old walking horse
That's
facility. Cool. So that's like why it's so vast. Like it's over
Right.
300 acres.
Wow.
They use a lot of that history in their product and everything.
Yeah.
So it's just such a cool blend of history and spirit and booze.
Yeah.
I meant spirit, like.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, no, it was super cool.
Well, and that's, that you bring that up. When Carol and I went to Kentucky in 2019, it's similar in that same way, that you have all these distilleries who, not only is the product itself a historic product,
Right.
but like the grounds on which this product is made is as well.
Yeah, so many of those are like the buildings themselves are like historic landmarks.
Exactly. Well, like you go to Woodford Reserve and like you are literally in horse farms. Like it is like a
Right.
gigantic horse farm essentially. So you're kind of there and you're in the horse farm.
Yeah,
So here you go.
That's how like their aging house now at Nearest Green is just an old stable.
Yep.
The welcome center is the old barn.
That's cool.
That's
it's
just that kind of stuff.
That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So would you go back?
Oh, absolutely.
Good, because Fawn emailed us.
No kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
She reached out.
Well, actually, she was kind of disappointed that you didn't stop and say hi.
I heard Drep was on property and didn't come by to say hi.
And I'm quite what's the word, pissed.
Yeah, no, the whole thing was so well done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I love it when they do that and they really they do it and they do it well.
Right.
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We have assembled quite the lineup on the table here. It is overflowing with booze. Yes. What are we doing, sir?
There are currently 6 bottles on the table between us right now.
Yeah.
And what we are going to do this episode is we are going to do a little or big benchmark tasting.
Whew.
I know.
What's up with the benchmark spread here?
Okay. So in early spring, the Buffalo Trace Company, who is distilling McAffee Brothers Benchmark,
right?
They released, or they said, hey, we're going to put out a bunch of different variations of Benchmark. As we've seen almost every distillery do some sort of thing like that.
Right. Just last week, we did the Jack Daniels. That was doing a similar kind of a thing.
Exactly. And we've done that recently. And I figured since between the two of us, we have acquired the entire Benchmark spread, that we should probably get into it, because people have been asking, Kyle, what do we think about the benchmarks as a whole? What do we think about the new kind of things that Buffalo Trace is putting out? Because this is absolutely a Buffalo Trace product.
Right. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's more kind of a question or a curiosity, I guess, of, how they've got them all labeled. You've got top floor, Correct. You've got small batch, you've got single barrel, bonded, and full proof. And then we also have just the regular benchmark as well.
Yep.
And so, having not been to the distillery,
right?
Do they indicate there, like, this is where benchmark comes from?
No.
This warehouse?
No.
Anything like that?
No. What they kind of say is, like, within this is where your ancient age is aged.
Right.
This is where benchmark is aged. This is where old charter is aged. It's all in this warehouse.
Right.
And most of those, they do make a point of saying, like, well, your Pappy's is aged at the bottom of the warehouse.
Sure.
And your, benchmark is aged at the top of the warehouse, kind of thing.
Right.
Which, when you think about it that way, in terms of that explanation, you're actually probably getting more flavor in some cases out of the benchmark, because the heat exchange is greater at the higher levels on the rickhouse.
Right.
So, and they're not moving those through the rickhouse as often.
Right. I wonder if they rotate barrels. I mean, it's all that kind of that minutia.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff, just being curious as to why you decided to do it this way with this many different variations.
Exactly.
Because I think that was like the surprising part for me, was just like, okay, like we had already had benchmark, we had done it. It is what it is.
It is. Yep.
And then to say that now you're going to have 5 new versions of that was just like, that seems a bit much. But
I'm for it.
At the same time, yeah, I'm here to try it.
All right. So all of these, and I do want to read bottle words because they do change based on the individual bottle. Except what does not change is kind of the story about it. So I'm going to read that real quick.
Okay.
But all of this is a Buffalo Trace product. It says right on there, distilled and aged, bottled Buffalo Trace Distillery, Frankfort, Kentucky. And I think that's also why this kind of became a big deal, is because it is a Buffalo Trace product, obviously.
Right.
So within that, they are all mash bill number 1. And mash bill number 1 is the lower rye mash bill. It's the mash bill that you'll recognize, or it's the mash bill that E.H. Taylor, same mash bill. Regular Buffalo Trace is the same mash bill. No.
Right.
Yeah. Regular Buffalo Trace is the same mash bill. So all of these are the exact same mash bill. So really the big difference is a couple of different things. Proof being the big one, and the other being where it's aged within each warehouse. So I just happen to pick up the top floor, but I'm going to read the general bottle words, okay?
Okay.
In 1773, 3 McAffee brothers named James, George, and Robert left Virginia westward to explore the uncharted territory that would later be known as Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Traveling by canoe at first, as one does.
Yeah.
The McAffee Company...
Same. Every day to work. Start out in the canoe.
The McAffee Company eventually followed a native trail overland that led to the Great Buffalo Crossing, where the brothers surveyed the land now home to the world's most awarded distillery, Buffalo Trace. The surveyor marks left behind are known as benchmarks, and this Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey honors the pioneering spirit of these early American explorers. So that's the same on all of the bottles.
Cool.
And I believe it's also It's not on the regular benchmark bottle, but I feel like we read something very similar to that when we did.
I think when we're doing like our research.
Yeah.
On the website or something.
So as we get into each of these bottles, we'll just read the kind of descriptor, and they're on the left side of the bottles of like what the difference is.
I mean, I'm quickly looking over, trying to think. All right, so that's top floor because you pulled that one from the top floor.
Correct.
Small batch, you had kind of more or less. Is that maybe you think just everything else we had left over, we put it into one batch?
I think so.
Small batch.
And it's at 90.
And it's at 90.
Yep.
We had some single barrels that were specifically great, so we pulled those out individually so we could slap a different label.
And that's a 95.
95. We've got the bonded, so we took at least a portion of different whiskeys that we wanted to leave at 100 because 95, wasn't enough.
And we want to age it 4 years.
Yeah, and we could add some water to that and lengthen out this whole process.
Correct.
And then we got the full proof hitting in there because obviously
we need one.
If you put full proof on there, you're going to sell some.
Exactly.
I get it.
It's very similar.
It's a great marketing ploy.
Yeah. It's very similar to the the marketing ploy from Jack Daniels from a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, depending on when we released this.
Right.
Hey, I got an idea.
Right.
You guys listen. How about
people love labels?
Exactly.
The more that we can make up, the more bottles we'll sell.
And what work do we have to do? Honestly, not a whole lot because we're probably already
doing this anyway. We're just putting them in different bottles. Brilliant. Instead of just batching it all together and bringing it down to 80,
right?
We can do this and sell. It's brilliant.
It's marketing.
It's really
marketing.
It's really smart.
And some schmucks are going to buy it, and we are those schmucks.
Check.
Correct.
But I think also too, after we did the benchmark episode and immediately said this would be really interesting at different proofs.
Absolutely. We absolutely did.
And so the fact that they did it like a year later.
They were listening.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we also said that about Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
When we did the single barrel proof, we were like, you know what? I wonder.
Right.
What if you took 3 different mash bills and you mixed them together?
Yeah. I mean, it's weird that we were that specific about it.
Yeah. I mean, we were.
And they did it. As a sour mash.
That charcoal mellow. Woo! So that just tells me, Kyle.
Yep.
That we are whiskey savants.
Yeah.
And the people
trendsetters.
Correct. And the people are listening and they're stealing our ideas. So
'tis the nature of the beast.
Well, you
can't put it out there and
exactly.
be absorbed.
And not be absorbed.
So.
All right. So that's gross.
Yeah. Sorry.
So here's what I think we're going to do. We are not going to do a blind.
No.
Because
a lot of effort there.
A lot of effort. There's a lot of numbers and letters involved.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, I don't know what there is to gain from that anyway. But I do want to run through these.
Yep.
And let's just talk about each one individually.
Totally.
And what we should do afterwards is we should come up with our top 2, like as we're kind of just working through it.
I just had another idea.
Okay.
Perhaps this might make more sense.
Okay.
What if we start first one,
and
then we go to second one,
and
then we go to third one, fourth one, fifth one. So there is kind of like a journey through them.
Yeah, I'm for that.
And you can kind of go back and forth a little bit.
Sure.
Then as you finish your first one, you pour the third one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So you kind of build through them that way, and there's a little bit more of a conversation between them.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Okay.
And then can we still talk about our 2 favorites at the end and
yes.
do that? Okay,
yes,
good.
I'll allow that.
Okay, good. So for everybody who wasn't on YouTube, what Kyle's saying is that we'll fill one glass, and then as we'll just kind of work our way through and fill glasses alternatively.
All right.
Start with regular watery benchmark, huh?
Regular watery benchmark.
Yeah, should I shake it up? Like
peach tea.
That's exactly. Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's what it was.
Exactly
that was the moniker.
Yeah. Let's get a little splash.
Bloop.
This one's going to be for you.
Well done.
Thank you, sir. And you know what? Just to make it easier for us to move through, I'm going to open the top floor, which is our next pour, and just let it sit in the glass. What do you think?
Okay.
Wait for that pop. Oh, that was a new bottle.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know that was a new bottle.
Yeah, that's going to happen at least one other time.
At least once more.
Maybe 2 more times.
And a little splash for you.
Pretty glugs. Now, in the bottle, crazy surprising to me how much darker 86 is from 80.
I agree.
Looking across here, there's a gradual change.
Yeah,
but there's a quick jump there.
Oh yeah, from the regular benchmark up to the top floor. Oh yeah, definitely. Let's swirl this real good.
Swirly whirl.
You want all the flavor that this benchmark has to offer. Look how pretty that is. That is a quintessential glass of bourbon, although a little light. Would you say light?
It's hard to get it all the way up to the room.
Well, listen, we got 3 episodes to record today.
Oh, and it's going to get sloppy.
Right. Well, keep it minimally sloppy.
Minimally sloppy.
All right. On the nose. I just spilled it all over me, dick. Literally, the first sip, Kyle, and I'm wearing it. It's in my beard. Look at this.
This is where we're starting, sir. This is where it's like dew drops in your beard. Mountain Dew.
Kentucky Dew.
All right.
Honey sweet.
Honey sweet, corn sweet, dusty corn.
Dusty corn. I met him once.
Yeah, honestly, like if I just picture it in my head, like this, I feel like nose is very similar to mellow corn.
Yeah, way corn heavy.
Yeah.
And actually, it's kind of friendly. It's a friendly nose. There's nothing like no roller coaster going on here.
No. Subtle cinnamon.
Like literally, as you were saying subtle, I was like cinnamon, and he's gonna say cinnamon, and then like you said cinnamon, but not like heavy rye, spicy cinnamon.
No,
It's
but
just like
it
a
does
little-
like make me lean that way. I think that was what was happening with the Eagle Rare. It was like it's making me think rye, but
Right.
maybe not.
Definitely friendly. Like this is an entry bourbon.
Yeah.
No proof on the nose to speak of, other than like, oh, hey, this has some alcohol in it.
Well, and I wouldn't even necessarily go like quintessential bourbon. I mean, it is definitely a bourbon, but it doesn't lean hard on caramel and vanilla.
Sure. Oh yeah. Okay.
It's
yeah.
just corn.
It's just corn sweetness.
Yeah.
I just took a little sip. This is exactly what I expected. Like not a whole lot.
Not a whole lot, but like also like nothing to really be mad about.
No.
It's just
no.
kind of quiet.
It's
and,
very quiet.
You know,
it's very straightforward.
it's morning whiskey. You know,
It's peach tea.
just help you wake up in the morning.
Well, I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing. That's really it. You get a little bit of a Kentucky hug just because it's your first pour.
Yep.
But
Oops,
you drink it all.
I forgot.
Well, that's okay.
They're tiny pours.
They are tiny pours, and that's okay because
That second sip.
we just want to
gone.
move on. Nothing to write home about, but it's not like you said. There's nothing wrong with it. Just
Yeah,
it's
there's not like a
interesting.
proof bite, obviously to be expected. Not a huge swing in flavor, not to be expected. Just kind of a sweet corn
And it's
whiskey
I would say it's like a light and airy sweet corn whiskey.
for sure.
Like
Yeah, mellow
mellow.
corn.
Take that, Heaven Hill. We're moving to the top floor, but you're gonna pour
Small batch.
Small batch. Okay.
The 90 proofer.
All right. And I want to read the label for the top floor as we get into it.
Oh, is it got a fun label?
Yeah. Well, they all have the
I
variations.
thought you had all of these. I thought you'd cracked into all of them.
Ooh, that was fancy.
Yeah, you know.
What was that?
All right. Acid reflux there.
There you go.
It's hard. It's hard to
Yeah, it's hard to
pour
little
that
pour.
tiny pour without little dribbles.
That's my nickname in college.
Little dribbles?
Little dribbles.
When you're on the basketball team,
I was, and they thought it was funny. Bunch of jerks.
little dribbles.
All right, so here's the information on the top floor.
Top floor.
Bourbon that matures on the top warehouse floor tend to age faster as heat rises. This top floor Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey is smooth and well-rounded to be enjoyed straight, with ice, or in your favorite cocktail.
All right.
There you go.
86. Completely different.
Whoa.
Like,
Whoa.
How is that the
That
same
is
mash
not
bill?
even the same thing.
Yeah,
Like
this is like heavy caramel.
heavy caramel and like a little bit of Robitussin-y.
Whew.
Like medicinal caramel.
Caramel squared dipped in some Robitussin.
I can be convinced that this is fake caramel.
Yeah, I can be convinced that like this is not the same beverage.
Oh, for sure. Because like there's actual like something to write home about in terms of like there's some nose here.
Yeah, that's got a nose.
It's really sweet too. Whoa. To me, that is like sorghum honey. I don't know if you ever had sorghum honey, but it's like a Tennessee honey. It's like sourwood, not sorghum, sourwood honey. That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
It's a little funky.
Only 10 I see.
That's that's a little funky, man.
I can find the connection on the palate.
Correct.
Like I can see it there. Like the nose is like no.
They don't
These
tell
are two
you.
completely different things.
Oh, for sure. They don't tell you how long the top floor is aged. They just say it's aged faster.
They're all aged like 2 months.
Well, it's got some color on it.
Yeah,
And
that's
maybe that's where the caramel's coming from.
Right.
You aged or you poured some caramel color in it. Can't speak. All right. I like that more than regular just because there's a little bit more interesting things going on there.
Yeah, and I can honestly actually taste the little popping proof.
Yes.
Just a little.
Just
there's
slight-
yeah, there's just a
little hint.
little bite on the tongue
Yeah,
there.
just a little bit. Just a little bit. Here's the thing, though. The medicinal quality that you get on the nose, it really dissipates quickly on the palate.
And now nosing it, that corn sweetness
Oh, yeah.
comes forward more.
Yep.
It's not overwhelmed by the caramel anymore. Interesting.
Right away, definitely top floor is better than regular.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not night and day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Yeah, it's really not close.
Yeah. Super interesting, though, that you go from something that's 80 proof. Cheers. You go from something that's 80 proof to something that's 86. We don't know what the age is on the regular benchmark. They say this is aged faster. They don't say aged more, just aged faster.
Right.
And I feel like you can taste it, though.
Well, and and I'm thinking too of like, top floor, like they're saying, aging quicker.
Sure.
Whereas like this might have been like in the barrel's bottom left corner by the restroom, and added a lot more water to it. It is what it is.
That's why that color's that way. Got it.
Oh.
You want to read the notes on the small batch?
Sure.
Do it.
What do we got? Small batch.
Uh-huh.
Select barrels are chosen from this small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey by our master distiller.
Okay.
The aroma of vanilla and oak gives way to delightful hints of caramel, leather, and honey.
Wow.
Oh, that's everything we've already said.
We didn't say
leather will be the new addition.
Oh. Breaking all kinds of crap
bless.
here. All right.
There's so much stuff on this table. All right.
I want to be able to go back and just nose the glass.
Yeah.
From the top
that was
floor.
my mistake.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
We'll let that sit for a second.
Okay. I would say same color on the top floor and the small batch.
Right.
I'm going to roll my Glencairn just a little bit. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Basically the same nose.
Basically the same nose. This one to me comes down on the caramel, goes up on the Robitussin.
For sure. I was going to say, I thought you were going to say down on the caramel, up on the proof, because I can smell just a little bit of a proof pop here on the nose, but it's Robitussin-y.
Yeah. It's that
Oh,
that,
man.
Just
Oh, man.
where before the
man.
top floor was like 80% caramel, 20%. This is more like 50-50.
Oh, I just can't unsmell it. I'm going to go back and nose the...
Man, it really it's starting to go like more like 70-30 now. 70% Robitussin. That's so strange.
It's way Robitussin. It's just medicinal AF. It's almost going into that like chunky Sharpie, the one with the paint Sharpie, and you
right.
gotta, like shake the little ball on the
Right.
other side. Of it. Yeah,
Yeah, the bonds. Yeah.
Thanks.
Two.
Yeah. I saw your hand gesture.
Well, you did it first.
I did. I wasn't trying to, but I did.
Mine might have been off camera.
Mine was
It
not.
was not.
There's
It was
no
right
way.
there.
Yeah.
In the appropriate spot and everything.
Yeah. Well, yeah, the caramel just like fades away, and you just get medicinal AF.
Well, and in that medicinal aspect too, the sweetness that I'm getting is a strange sweetness. It's like it is honey, but I feel like there's also like this almost like stevia,
yeah,
sugar in the
monk
raw kind of
fruit,
thing. Yeah.
kinda something. Now, sugar in the raw would be like dark, delicious dark honey.
Well, whatever in the raw,
Yeah,
the fake in the raw, monk fruit in the raw.
monk fruit. Yeah, I'm getting this like cherry whiff too, but you gotta reach for it. Go left nostril, right nostril, and you can reach for it. All right, I'm not getting. They said leather. I ain't getting no leather.
Yeah,
I'm going in. Interesting. The Robitussin-y nature just goes away. Like I'm not getting any Robitussin on the palate. You?
no, not really.
Yeah.
The palate on that is almost quieter.
Oh yeah, I
than
was
the
just gonna
other.
say that it's way lighter. Like
Yeah.
it's waterier.
Almost?
like there's a little. It's not as
even though it
viscous.
shouldn't be.
No, and I feel like there's less proof on it, even though it's 4 proof points higher.
Yeah, it's just everything on that one's a lot more subdued.
I would say small batch tastes more like the regular benchmark to me.
1,000%.
Yeah.
It's much more like it's got that peachy kind of quality to it, and I think that fake kind of sweet.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Again, like
Yeah, that's not bad
no.
by any means, but it is way more, and it even has that kind of similar like cinnamon
Yep.
note.
Obviously, we're not doing this way, but I bet you if you put the small batch against the benchmark, the big difference is just going to be proof, and I'm going to choose a small batch over the regular benchmark.
Yeah, I get a lot of cinnamon on the nose now,
Yeah. Now that we've had it and on the palate,
and that same kind of dusty corn.
it's just really light, really thin.
All right,
All right, let's move to the single barrel.
the loner barrel.
The single barrel. Only the best barrels are selected for this special Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. While every barrel is unique, each reflects the utmost standard for the finest taste and most smooth finish with every pour.
Whew.
I know, they really like that S word, Kyle. We're not big fans of it. Smooth. Oh, smooth, yeah. All right, this one jumps up to 95.
All right.
I did a party foul, Kyle.
What's that?
I poured mine first.
Oh, no worries.
Just a wee pour.
How we dram? There's a dram. Dram does have an official
Measurement. Yeah, I think it's an ounce and a half.
Yeah. This is the wee dram.
It's a wee dram. Right. Swirl this, my Glencairn again. There's a lot of swirling. There's a lot of sipping. There's a lot of nosing.
Yeah.
This is a tasting episode, Kyle.
Yeah, it's what we do when you're tasting.
You swirl, you sip, you contemplate.
Yeah, you're trying to get the full experience.
Full effect.
Open up all possibilities.
Oh, that is dramatically different. Wow.
Yeah.
In terms of like that Robitussin nature,
gone. And it's more cologne-y.
Perfumaic. Yeah, cologne in like a cheap cologne way.
Sure.
Like that. What's the Kelly Clarkson song? That dab.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Not that one. Maybe it's not Kelly Clarkson. Putting on that bathroom polo. Is that Kelly Clarkson?
No idea what you're talking about.
Okay. Before he cheats. Is that Kelly Clarkson?
Oh no, that's
the other one.
The other one. Underwood.
Carrie Underwood. Okay.
That bathroom cologne. Yeah.
I think bathroom polo. Dabbing on that bathroom polo. That's what she says. Are we betting? It said, hold on. Yeah.
I will never say that I know it well enough, but I thought it was bathroom cologne.
Cologne. I think it's bathroom polo.
Like
I need to look this up.
Polo cologne?
Yeah. I'm like 90% sure. Like now I need to know, Kyle.
I will never say that I know Carrie Underwood lyrics well enough that I'd be like, you're wrong. I just feel like I've always heard that as bathroom
cologne. It's like Alabama.
Well, it's a country song.
Oh, God. Let's see. Dabbing on $3 worth of that bathroom polo.
There you go.
There you go.
Bathroom polo.
Cologne.
Cologne.
Makes sense. I'm not saying
sense.
Okay. Well, it smells like bathroom.
I've never been into a bathroom that had polo. I guess it's my problem, which I haven't been to many bathrooms in Nashville, so maybe they're just covered up with it up there.
You walk in, there's bathroom polo everywhere.
I mean, it'd be like, I don't know.
Let me ask you.
I guess that's more it.
What?
Is like the times that I've gone into bathrooms that had like a cologne spread, I don't pay any attention to it and I just walk out anyway.
Yeah, well, okay.
Maybe polo is the preferred bathroom.
I think what she's
cologne.
saying is like you know the vending machine in the bathroom, like some high class establishments got.
Sure.
And you got some products in there.
Sure.
Never purchase cologne from a bathroom.
Oh, okay. Me neither.
All that to say, I don't know what that actually looks like. Is it like a tiny little bottle, like a little tiny like polo
it's got like
bottle?
one of these mini drams in it.
Right.
Couple of dabs. So is it Polo Ralph Lauren?
Yeah,
or is
yeah.
it a separate thing?
No, I think it's that.
Just,
Who knew?
You're just being, it's opening a door to a whole universe you don't know anything about.
You're right, but I know just
Polo
enough.
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah. Well, I used to wear that polo black.
Really?
Yeah, like a long time ago.
Interesting.
It was delicious.
At this point in time,
You sip on $3 of that
I don't
bathroom
know that
polo.
I could tell you like
What that smells like?
Well, no, I can. I do specifically remember buying a cologne at
Germany, Cologne, Germany.
Banana Republic.
Oh, okay.
That I really enjoyed. Anyway,
back to the whiskey.
definitely has a polo tint to it.
$3.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually it's a nice nose. It's way friendlier.
What is this? The single barrel?
This single barrel.
Yeah.
It's way friendlier than the other two.
We're hitting 95.
So where the small batch said leather, I'm getting leather on this, but like leather that's sat out for a while. Like that like super leather quality is gone. Not leather store, but like this is a leather product that you've had for a while.
Like a polo wallet.
Sure.
Yeah, like that cheap leather that you get at like a Ross.
Right. Like, is it leather?
Looks it. Feels it. Probably not. What's interesting to me is this one I feel like is I get the notes of all the other ones in it.
I really feel that way too. Like there's the good parts that I actually do like about the regular benchmark.
Right.
And then that slight bit of a spicy rye as you kind of continue up the ladder here.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I'm going in. That's not half bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's still way sweet pronounced, for sure.
It really is, but
There's a kind of
on
cool
the finish,
Yeah.
touch of a bitter.
Yeah. And it's not enough to make me say, like, that's good.
Yeah.
It is enough to make me say, hey, bitter. Like, you're offsetting the sweet a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, just a subtle little oak note.
Yeah.
A barrel note there at the end.
It's actually, that's quite nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nicer.
Sure.
Maybe it gets there.
I'm not disappointed by this. Though.
Yeah, no,
if you were to give me this and said, like, hey, this is my house bourbon, okay. Yeah, not bad.
Fair enough.
But also, we're approaching that magic 100 proof number.
Right.
So that might have a little bit to do with
finish on this one's got a little bit of a bite. A little bit more of a little, proof bite. Still not huge, but it's there. It's definitely noticeable.
You still get some of that honey sweetness, which I think actually is complemented very well by that little bit of a bitter and just that like slight spice.
Yeah.
Quite good. That one stands out so far.
Yeah, which is not surprising.
No. All right.
Time for the James Bonded.
Okay.
So yeah, on this one we don't need an age statement because we know this one's got to be at least 4 years old.
At least 4. Did you read it?
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, go ahead and read it real quick.
All right. Bonded.
Ooh.
The Bottled and Bond Act of 1897 set strict standards for bonded whiskey.
Okay.
This 100 proof Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey aged 4 years to meet those standards in one day. Enjoy the rich flavor and long, smooth finish.
Are you serious? Smooth again?
Yeah.
The copywriter on these...
They had an extra O in there, too.
Did they really?
No.
Okay, I was like, wow. The copywriter on these did not have a very difficult job. What one word do all Americans use to describe whiskey? Smooth. I'm going to put that on the bottle.
It ain't wrong. I mean, it's what they all want to put out there.
Yeah. Smooth to me just equals safe.
I know, but I'm still so surprised how often you see that and hear that. And
it's on every commercial, too. Man, that's a smooth whiskey. That's smooth Bud Light taste.
Ooh.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, give me something that's rough.
All right, so this is at 100.
Yep.
Oh, we're back to that weird Robitussin.
Back to caramel land.
Okay, but to be fair, that makes a lot of sense. And the reason being, the single barrel was, a single barrel. So you might not get that blending. So I have a feeling it's something within some blending going on here. Because these are...
But I thought it was the top floor that was big on that.
No, the
Was
small
it not? Was it
batch.
small batch?
Small batch had more of a Robitussin.
Gotcha.
So, but we're back to that. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right.
there was nothing.
Oh, that's right. Top floor was like, had a little bit of both,
80,
but it was
20.
way quieter on
Correct.
the Robitussin. Small batch kicked it up a lot.
Yeah. But now we're back to it. But I'd say we're
this
kind of
relates
back.
a lot to that small batch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically the same nose. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely same nose.
That peach tea note has come through really hard too.
And just like a slight bit of spice. I wouldn't even say like cinnamon, just like baking spice almost.
Right.
I know, you getting that?
Yeah, I get something that I can't quite name that reminds me of some sort of a baking shop
Yeah.
thing.
It's
Like
that
sugar.
It's that fake icing you get, like Duncan Hines icing. Like you pop it open and like you know that it's not real food.
Right.
Like it's you know what I'm saying? Like there's
This
something
required science.
correct. Like there's some chemistry
This is
going on
not
here.
organic.
There is chemical. Like this is really just chemicals mixed
Right.
together. Like that's what this is,
Right.
and that's what this smells like. It's sweet. It's got some chemically nature to it. All right.
I think the mouthfeel on that one's way more buttery and creamy than I expected it to be. And
Absolutely.
Kind of pleasant.
Yeah. The mouthfeel is actually really nice. I would say the mouthfeel is definitely a little oily too. Mm-hmm. Ooh. And it kind of stays with you for a minute.
Yeah.
Like ooh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. All around, it's like, it's solid. Nothing wrong with it.
But you know what? It's just really one note. Which, to be fair, they're all going to be one note. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, and I think because we're kind of moving up through the ranks, we're getting that same note over and over. So now we can parse out what's different, which I really like.
Right.
But it's that same note that you get on the small batch on the top floor,
Right.
but then like a buttery, kind of oily nature.
Well, and I was really hoping this one was going to have more of that barrel note at the end,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd almost say it might even take a step back. It's there, but it's so quiet.
I don't know. I would even go so far as to say like there's no oaky nature at all. Like I'm not getting almost anything out of that.
Like at the end of it, I get like a very like kind of almost tannin-y on the sides of my tongue, and just the subtlest bitter. Not much.
Not much.
Yeah, not much.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you ready to move on to the final one, Kyle?
The final
Yeah,
countdown.
this is McAffee Brothers Benchmark Full Proof.
Fullest of proof.
Yeah, this moves up to 62.5, 125 proof, Kyle.
Yeah. Single barrel's got it right now.
I agree. This Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey is bottled at the same proof that it enters the barrel. Bold and robust, this 120 proof Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey unveils hints of chocolate, brown sugar, and spice.
Robust, you say?
Sip and savor.
Ooh. It's like a toy. Oh.
Just a splash.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Quick prediction. This is going to take it?
Mm.
Does that? I mean, this is a jump. 100 proof up to 125.
That's our biggest jump.
That is a leap.
I'm going to say no.
All right.
I'm going to say no. That there is a better bottle here. I will say this is the darkest, though.
Yeah, it's hard to say with such small pores
Right.
that we've got. I mean, looking at them in the bottle, I feel like, especially from single barrel up, they look pretty similar. But yeah, no, it's got a shade on it.
All right. Whoo. Oh, yeah. You know that the proof is there on the nose. Wow. It's actually pretty heavy proof.
Yeah, that does like slap you a little bit.
Yeah. The Robitussin note is there, but it's way subdued. It's still like you still get hints.
Yeah, I think that proof's got it by the throat.
I agree. Ooh. You know what though? Nose on this, I think that might take it. That nose is quite delightful. There's that same kind of sweetness.
Yep. Got the caramel, got the honey.
Yep. That is more quintessential bourbon to me than anything else.
Touch of cherry.
Yep. Little stone fruit, little peachy nature. That's actually
Pretty nice.
that's a nice nose.
No barrel. No oak.
See, I was gonna say like there's something like charred.
I just get
Nothing?
all sweet.
I'm getting this like just a hint of like campfire like 3 towns over, but the wind's blowing this way.
Maybe like a little burnt pie topping.
Oh, that might be like a
crust.
like a creme brulee crust, like just the hints.
Toasted caramel.
All right, I'm going in. Well. Ah. That is sweet AF though, dude.
Yeah,
That
it
is
really is.
so sweet. That is a sweet bomb. Like I thought the 80 proofer was sweet. This, man, that is like syrup.
Yeah. Yeah, it's thick,
Yeah.
buttery,
Pour that on some waffles.
and it's got that proof bite. That's nice.
There's a nice bitter that too. It like accentuates the proof, cuts through that sweet. Ooh, that Kentucky hug. Ooh.
Yeah, that flavor profile is, to me, really similar. It's like, man, it's got my lips tingly.
Yeah, you got a little numb.
It's like similar to like a Tennessee whiskey.
It really is.
It's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah, but they're all sour mash too. So like Tennessee whiskeys tend to be sour mash.
Right.
So you know,
Good point.
but they're not Taco Mellow that I know of anyway. Are you getting some oak?
Yeah, I mean, it's still not where I'd like it. I'd like a little more, but right there on the finish.
Yeah, it's way
Same
on
kind
the
of
back
thing.
end of the
It's just-
palate.
yeah, it's just very subtle.
It's kind of like a friendly oaky note. If an oaky note can be friendly, that's a friendly oaky.
You found it. Yeah, I would almost wonder, like, perhaps they're not charring the barrels as much.
Right.
And that's what's keeping it so sweet and
Sure,
so kind of friendly.
That's a good point. Because I know, because I've seen it, that charring of the barrel like Jack Daniels, man, that is like toasted AF.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like maybe
At
like
Jim
number
Beam,
2.
they're like just toast, and it is like dark.
Right.
I mean, it's there, but it's just like
Right.
just a whiff.
Just a touch.
Okay, I've got my 2.
Yeah, I do too.
What are your 2 picks from this spread? Like, what do you want to compare overall?
Man, definitely the foolproof.
Okay.
That one's hard to argue. I'm thinking I'm going to go the other one. It's between the small batch and the single barrel. I think I'm going to go single barrel.
We should have written this down because I was going to say the same thing. Like, legit the same
Those
thing.
two?
Yeah, those two. Like, to me, the foolproof, just because obviously proof.
Yep.
And the what was out of that single barrel was quite delicious. So I think like those are my top 2.
Yeah. I mean, pound for pound, it might be that top floor.
Right.
But because it's so much lower, I know that that's going to be a bit of an issue for it.
You mean
in a
going
comparison in a
against the
head-to-head.
foolproof?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's no way it would stand up to it.
Okay, let me do this then. I'm going to do that because that was going to be my second pick.
Okay.
Was the top floor. So why don't you do foolproof against single barrel, and I'll do foolproof against top floor.
Okay.
Granted, yes, I recognize going into it, I'm going from 125 to 86.
Right.
So,
But I'm saying pound for pound, that might be the best.
Okay.
In terms of like when we hit it, like I mean, and two, like going from here to there,
Yeah.
it was such a shock and
From
such
the regular
difference.
benchmark to the top floor.
Yeah,
Sure.
It was such a difference that it was so much more flavor and more
Yeah.
bang for your buck kind of a deal. But I think about comparing those two, like I think that one was the better.
Yep. The single barrel was just so different. Like
But
it
the
is-
single barrel, yeah, it started to get the full
Right.
concept.
Right. Okay,
Give you
so-
a little bit of everything.
for science,
Okay.
I'm going to go foolproof top floor. You're going to go foolproof single barrel. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's do that. There we go.
So what's the right way? Go lower? There's no way.
I say go lower.
Because going lower at this point, we already hit that 125. That's your lower. Yeah, I got the higher up front.
Thank you. Well, that's a bit of a hefty pour, Nick.
I saw you do that. I'm like, that's yours.
We got episodes to record, and you're pouring like a half pour here. Okay. Going back to that lower proof,
Yep.
I'm not disappointed. I'm not getting that Robitussin note, but I think it's because everything else is
Well,
Robitussin.
because top floor was the lower version of
that
it.
Robitussin,
You know, it was just
yeah.
a touch of it.
But you go from the regular benchmark to the top floor, and
I'm curious.
yeah, I see what we're doing here.
Ah, yeah. That caramel creamy note. So good.
Oh yeah, it's not in that one. Yeah, that definitely stands out. That caramel creaminess, and you really get it on the bonded. Like the bonded is where that caramel creaminess buttery note
Sure.
really sings.
Yeah.
Which, okay, to be fair, that's kind of cool. Is that each one of these has like you can definitely different profile.
It's almost like every other kind of a thing of like this one relates to this one over here. This
Right.
one relates to, kind of weird how they jump around.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Tell me what.
On the top floor, that bitterness is like just sticking out just a little bit, which I didn't get it initially.
Right.
But there's a bit of a bitter that I'm kind of recognizing because I've gone that journey.
Right.
That's sticking out. It's still thin though.
Right.
It really is. What about you?
That single barrel, man. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's got a touch of oak, touch of the barrel right there on the finish. It's all around pretty darn good. And for 95 proof,
Yeah.
got quite a lot of flavor.
Here's what worries me about
It's solid.
Here's what worries me about single barrel though. It's a single barrel.
Indeed.
So like you could literally go to another liquor store, pick up a single barrel, and it's a totally different bottle.
It'll be different, but at the same time, at least go into it with the expectation of like y'all chose this as a single barrel. It's not,
Sure.
you got to think it's not a random
Y'all
selection.
labeled this
thing.
as a single barrel. I mean, is it possible that they literally went to a top floor barrel and went, okay, that one? Yeah. And
Could
we're
be.
just not going to dilute it as much?
Could be.
All right. So to the foolproof, it's the same for me. It's the same as the top floor, just accentuated
Yeah. Honestly, I don't like the nose as much
on the foolproof.
on the foolproof.
I can agree to that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would give the nose to both the single barrel and the top floor.
Yeah. I can see that.
The nose is kind of uninteresting
It's one of those rare situations where I think the proof works against it here.
for the nose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it masks too many things.
It really
It's
does.
only allowing through that sweet caramel / fake
Yeah.
saccharin note.
And I wonder, like, because of that, is the accentuation of the proof, like, is that just throwing the whole thing off?
Right.
But on the palate,
Palate lets everything through.
yep, for sure. Thing is, though, like, honestly, it's the same notes, which I really appreciate. Same notes on the top floor that is on the foolproof, but it just really, like, punches all those and pushes all those forward. And that is delightful.
So yeah. I mean, it's really not fair going back
Oh,
to
no,
the
it's
other one
not. No, for sure it's not.
because it washes it all out.
Oh, yeah. Which we recognize going into it.
Right. Fun experiment.
Oh, yeah. What was your big takeaway?
At this point, going through all of them, you can see how they're related. It's like members of a family.
Right.
You see how they're all connected. They,
Absolutely.
Like, oh, yeah, no, y'all have got the same nose, and like y'all have got the same eyes, and you have the same jawline. Like you see how they're related to each other.
Yep.
But the fact that they're as different as they are is also like super interesting.
Well, and to me,
they
that
got their
also
own
kind of
personalities.
proves, yeah, and that also kind of proves like us wrong, like what we said earlier. Sure, it is all about marketing, but there is something to the flavor profiles within that.
Totally.
Because you are getting different things. Like
Right.
you can see the relation between the two. And what I love about this, and my big takeaway, is that like I kind of wish more distilleries would do this. Like granted, I know that you're just getting more money. I know that that's what this ploy is.
Right.
But if I have all these together, I'm able to see the nuances between them. And for whiskey people and people who like to nerd out over that,
Right.
this is what that, like, the peak of nerddom is.
Right.
Because I can go, okay, top floor. Oh, that's way different than regular benchmark. Whoa, that's way different than small batch. And I can start to see those things, even though, a whiskey novice might be like, tastes the same, but there's a little more proof.
What I would like to see,
Yeah.
say Wild Turkey went to do this with 101.
Yeah.
And was going to give you a thing.
Uh-huh.
I love the idea.
I love it.
This is fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Or Elijah Craig, whoever. I would like to see them do it with 325s.
Yeah, smaller bottles.
Yeah, smaller bottle, like half of a bottle.
Yep.
Don't make me buy the entire array.
Sure.
Because as successful as this has been, to see how many bottles they've sold with it,
What am I going to do
I'm
with it, though?
sure everybody's going to want to do it.
Right. Correct.
So, but at the same time, like, how long are you going to have all of these bottles?
Correct. Like,
How long is it going to take you to go through
I mean,
6 benchmarks?
when was that first benchmark episode and the bottle's half gone?
Right.
I mean, granted, we've made jokes before, like, we could honestly just polish off this bottle quite quick.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, easily in a
But
sitting.
I don't want to do that because there's way better things on the whiskey shelf.
Right.
I mean, everybody can see there's way better things on the whiskey shelf.
More interesting things.
Correct.
This experiment is fascinating. though,
Yes.
But at the same time, it'd be better just to have it in a smaller thing so
Yep.
that if you did have a group, you could do it
Yeah.
and get through the whole bottle.
Right.
And that'd be super fun and interesting.
And that's a good point. Maybe it should be sold as a set. Like, this is a benchmark tasting set.
Right.
Even if you did 100 ml bottles, give
Yeah,
me
totally.
give me 600 ml bottles, kind of like a beer tasting pack.
Like those Christmas packs.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
give me those little, give me 100 ml bottles, because then 100 mils I could share between 4 people.
Right.
Give them 25 mils each.
Right.
And hey, all you're doing is tasting this. We're going to work our way through it, and we're going to talk about it.
Right.
Versus, you and I can invite some people over. We can have some, dripping stoners over. We can do this tasting. But you're right. Like, these bottles might be with me for a bit.
I know. And it's like, you find the ones that are fantastic.
Right.
And it's cool. But now I've got the knowledge of I like you better
Correct.
than I like you.
Correct.
So now it's going to be that decision of when do I ever get to you
Right.
and finish you off?
Right. The thing is, though,
That's tough.
Honestly, I can tell you, I'm never buying any of these again. I'm not going to,
Right.
because I now know.
Right.
But if I had to, I would probably buy the single barrel of full proof over everything else.
Right.
But I'm not going to.
Right.
And that's
I know it's such a weird.
That's also the problem when you do something like this, though, too. Think about it from a liquor store perspective. Like, when people have done all this
yeah,
now,
you got to be careful how much of this product you bring into your
now,
store.
that small batch might sit there a minute,
Right.
And someone's going to come in and buy it eventually, but
Maybe.
you might collect some dust.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got anything else?
6-7 years down the road, you might get rid of it.
Right.
No, this was super fun though. I'm
Yeah.
that's where I'm I would love for more people to do this.
100%.
Just don't do them as the full 750s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I honestly
There's a
would
better
love,
way to do it.
I would love every distillery did something like this.
Totally. I'd be on board and I'd be there for it.
Yep.
But, again, if Elijah Craig came through and did the same thing,
Yep.
I'd have a hard time pulling the trigger on every
Ooh.
single one of them.
What if Elijah Craig did it with their years? Like, they just save some back, or the different seasons. You could do comparison between years, and you did 50 mils. Oh man,
50 mils of 3 different.
yeah.
So you'd end up with
seasons, 9 bottles,
18 bottles.
yeah, or whatever. That's great. Heck yeah,
That would be
sign
nuts.
me up.
Yeah,
but
totally, I'd be
if
there for it.
They charge $150 for it. Like, this is a tasting pack.
Right.
Oh, dude, they'd make just as much, if not more.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, well, we'd love to know what you think about McAffee Brothers Benchmark and the whole spread here.
Yeah, what do you think?
Because this is a really cool lineup, and I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, totally. Me too.
And I love a good tasting. I know the Drippin' Stoners, they love a good tasting. So this is a lot of fun.
Indeed, it was.
And every once in a while, we'll throw in just a tasting episode.
And let's also highlight the fact that we didn't love this
The regular benchmark.
regular benchmark. So
Right.
the fact that it's a brand that was just kind of meh, and they went ahead and did it it's still such a brilliant concept.
For sure. So reach out to us. Let us know what you think. You can do that through email. It's drepandstone@gmail.com. You can also do so through social media.
It's always one word, Drep and Stone, DREP and Stone. You find us, you like us, you share a thing, like a thing, comment on all our things, and we'd really appreciate that.
Yeah. And you know what else we appreciate too?
What's that?
If the people join us on Patreon, Kyle. There's a lot of great stuff on Patreon.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We love the Patreon.
We do Patreon. You get some fresh cracks. You get some pours with just Kyle or me. And you get some inside information.
Yeah, way more personalized experience.
Correct. There's a really cool community going on there. And we'd love for you to be a part of it as well.
Indeed.
And we'd love it if you rate Drep and Stone wherever it is you find great podcasts like this one.
Yeah. Thumbs up all the way up.
Oh, and finally, Kyle, before we clink glasses, that's how we end everything.
Right.
A way that everyone else can support Drep and Stone is just tell somebody about it.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, tell a friend. You see someone in the grocery store, you see someone in a car line somewhere, and you're just like, hey, Drep and Stone. Yell at them. That was me yelling. I just didn't want to, hurt the people's ears.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway.
Good call.
Thanks. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
May your glass overflow.
And your ass never show. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Hey, it helps if you turn the mic on.
Indeed. Getting that live radar. Hey, there's a hurricane coming. We don't care. Let's just drink.
A little rye.
Rye.
Do we need water?
No.
Okay. Smacking bottles against bottles. Luckily, I can edit that out. Sort of. Oh, I just got a little Kentucky hug. Hold on, Kyle. Keep it down, buddy. Keep it down. All right, glutton. We got the Glencairns. That's what I'm trying to say. Whiskey is in the air, Kyle.
All right.
Well, we'd love. Wait, I already said that.
We would love it still.
Yeah.
Is that little Jack Horner sat in a corner eating his Christmas pie, stuck in his thumb, pulled out a plum, said,
"Fuck you." What did he say?
I think that's what it was. What a good boy am I.
Really?
Or fuck you. It's like same word.
It's the thing.
I don't think we need to rely on reality here.
Got to cut that out.
The nursery rhyme. Cheers, buddy.
Good thing I didn't do it faster.
Woo, baby.